Wendy, thank you, Wendy. Indy, can you hear me? Yeah. Brilliant. Just want to start off by offering my apologies for last week. I had terrible issues with the internet nearby me, and I've since changed my broadband provider based on that. So I do apologise for last week, and thank you for coming back. What I plan to do is just quickly recap on the apps I started to show you last week, because I'm conscious that there was a lot of interference, and you may not have got the full sort of gist as to how the apps are used. Wendy, I'll just wait for you to finish typing there. You love it? Brilliant. Well, what I'll do is I'll quickly recap some of the apps. You know, I'm pleased, Wendy. I really am pleased that I'm relieved that you did get something out of last week, albeit it was a very short session. So like I say, I'll recap and then we'll move on, and I'll try and tailor this session as best I can to you guys, because there is only two of you. Okay. Last week I started by looking at screencastings. Now, screencastings is a great way to present information in terms of you can use it to present lessons, also to get the children to present pieces of work, and also it's a very good way of capturing children's sort of product at the end of a lesson, really, and then offering the opportunity for them to do peer and self-assessment. I'm not going to show you Poplet again, unless, Indy, do you want me to go through Poplet again, or are you happy to go on what Wendy said? Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, I won't spend any time on Poplet. The first app we looked at last week was Explain Everything. Okay, now Explain Everything I've used in the past to deliver lessons. Basically, I put all my lessons together using Explain Everything. This is pictures of one that I've done before, but then using it in a wireless capacity, I walk around the classroom and use it to deliver lessons. Another way that you can use it, as I said last week, is if you have a piece of work that a child's created, at the touch of a button you can literally insert a picture of something that they've done. I'll try and get a piece from this week. So if you've done a piece of writing, you can drop it in. Okay, and then on Explain Everything, you can annotate, you can write over the top things that they've done well and things that they could improve. On top of that, what I've also seen it used for is down the bottom, there's actually a record feature. I've actually seen some teachers, if you've got a sort of a one-to-one deployment, photograph a piece of the child's work and give recorded feedback or oral feedback using Explain Everything. Again, I think that depends on how lucky you are as a school as to whether you could do that. But you know, I found it a nice way to sort of give feedback with it. You use Explain Everything, that's great. I'll move on. I won't go over it again and again. Show Me is another screencasting app. It's very much like Explain Everything, but the only difference is this is a free app. So again, you can create boards, you can insert sort of pictures, you can annotate, you can also record using your voice. If a child does a piece of work at the end of a literacy lesson, again, you can record it and scribble over the top. But it's free. So unlike Explain Everything, which I think is something like $149, it may have gone up, this is a free version of it. I won't bore you with this one because I know you've got one already. iVisualizer. Wendy, was it you that said you use iVisualizer? Yeah, I won't show that one. Have you got the National Curriculum app? A bit boring, and I'm sorry, but no. The National Curriculum app is a free app, and basically it's a pocket curriculum, and it breaks down the primary curriculum. So you've got it on your iPad, it's free, and you have it at a glance. So I don't know, if you use your iPad to support your planning, it's quite handy to have. I often make reference to it if I'm looking at key areas of different subjects. That one purely is NC curriculum with that one. I've got an app here as well, which I'll show you quickly, which I touched on last week. I use it when I've got the children to create a piece of writing which, you know, I want them to take seriously, when I want them to, you know, work quietly. Basically, it's noise emitter, and what it does is, as you can see now as I'm talking, it monitors the noise of the class, and the children like it because it gives them an average ranking based on the amount of decibels that you use, and you can create sort of leaderboards with it. We find it useful because the children can see it and it's visual, so when I've got it on my smartboard, while they're doing their writing, they can sort of see and keep track of the noise that they're they're making in the class. I don't know if it's anything that interests you or whether you use anything different, but certainly in my class they like it because it's very visual for them. I'll just see if you've got a question. Yeah, I've used it with well, foundation right up because it's visual, but you can do it for individual tables if you've got the opportunity to have an iPad per table. But it is good because you can keep track of their score. So as you can see in the top left-hand corner, you've got their score. So every time we do a piece of writing, I try and get them to beat their score. So, you know, it does monitor the noise level for that particular. This one, I think, was something like 98p or something. It was really cheap. But again, you know, I don't keep track of the prices of the apps. They tend to fluctuate, and sometimes they offer them on a free trial. Sometimes they then become ones that you've got to pay for, depending on how popular it is. Like I say, I don't work for any of these companies. I literally just show you the different apps I'm using. So I don't know the individual prices of each app, but if it's something that interests you, it might be something that you want to look into. I'll just wait for you to finish there, Wendy. Yeah, with that, do you know about mobile deployment, Wendy? Do you know anything about mobile deployment? Basically, if you buy some licenses, I think I pay something like £3 per iPad to start off with, which was in terms of 100 iPads for you, that's £300. However, when you then buy a bank of apps, you do get them cheaper because basically you then buy a bank of licenses, so you don't have to pay as much per app, and then when you sort of deploy them across all of your iPads, it does work out a lot cheaper. But yeah, it's called mobile device management, so you can sort of monitor it from a website and decide which iPads have which apps. Okay, another app that I use for screencastings is called EduCreations. I won't spend too long. Again, it's very much like Explain Everything, but if you've got 100 iPads and you